Hi there, we're going to be looking at refurbishing the suspension top arm. See, it's had a hard life here, so the plan is to completely get it stripped down, get it cleaned up, hopefully get all the parts off without any issues. And my helper's back again to help, since he's done such a good job in the last couple of videos. So, got a rebuild kit here. These are like £10. Basically builds this whole area along here. What I'm going to do first is I'm just going to take this whole lot off. You can see how it all goes together. You've got the nut, spring washer, the plate here, the two nuts for the plate that attach it to the subframe. You've got the rubber here, shaft goes through the middle. Other side you've got the rubber here, you've got just a normal washer here and the nut on the other end. So the first thing we're going to do is take off this nut and washer and slide the whole lot through. Go for it. So it should just slide, keep that aside, just pull it through this way, keep all the pieces there. Okay, so the grease inside, well, what should I say, there should be grease inside. The way that's normally greased up is through the grease nipple here, but it's one of the most neglected things from servicing a Mini. And as you see, that's quite dry. I mean, that's the first time that's properly been off. So we've got that off. The only thing that's not come off with it is this rubber here. You can see the rubber, and also inside the washer that sits on the end here. So what we're going to do is just keep all this parts together. We're not going to be using it again, but we'll keep it all together so it helps us with the order later on. And then that leaves us with the grease nipple here and the top arm for the shock absorber here. We're going to give them a wire brush and WD-40 hopefully so it comes out, and then we've still got the nylon cup in place that the knuckle joint sits on. So once we've got that off, we can then look at getting it on the wire wheel and get it cleaned up. Then after that, the only thing that's inside is the roller bearings, which are the fun part to get out. But we'll see how we get on with that. The grease nipple here, we're just going to give it a wire brush and WD-40 and see if that's going to come off. Go for it. There you go, one grease nipple. That came off quite well. And that here seems to be stuck pretty well, so we're going to have to try and get into that and see if we can get that off. This was not moving at all, so basically we've heated it up, melted it slightly, and it's done the job. So we just need to let this cool, obviously, because it's still a bit hot. Get it cleaned up. Right, so this bar here at this end, it comes all the way through for the shock mount. I've lubricated it and I've turned it to make sure it is turned, it's not seized inside the barrel here. So now I've given it a slight tap. You can see it's moved it slightly out. It's only going to be age that's holding this in here, so I'm going to take the nut off and I'm going to hit this end here with a hammer to drive it through. Once I get so far, I'll maybe use a drift. But I've ordered a new one of these anyway, so I don't mind too much if I damage it. So the first couple of taps I used with the nut on the end just so I didn't put too much of an end on here till I get it first loosed. I'll take that off now because the nut's it there. Take this off. Spacer coming off. And then the last washer, so it's just a case of just getting this driven through. Hopefully once a couple of taps I'll get it a bit looser. So a few taps has managed to get most of the way through. Getting out there. It will be cleaned with a small wire brush inside once I get it out, but what I'm going to use for the rest of it is just a drift to get in here and knock it the rest of the way out. So there we go. The spacer that was on this end, luckily the kit comes with a new bit, it's seen better days. I can just get this jammed in here. You can see the bolt here. Right, so now we've got all the bits and pieces moved from the top arm. The only thing left are the roller bearings. I've seen methods before where a bolt's welded in here and then it's basically a rod through and it's tightened and it basically pulls out. I had a look online and I've seen this. It's fairly cheap and I'll use it again. It's a hidden bearing puller, so you can obviously use it in different hole sizes. It just basically goes in, tightens up, and then there's a slide hammer that pulls it out. So I haven't tried it yet, but I'm going to try it here for the first time and see how easy it is to get these out, and then we can recommend if it's worth buying one of these or not. Only one way to find out. So the one that best fits the hole we've got here, just set that inside, goes in here, screw it until it gets finger tight. I need to get a spanner that can turn this, but that also something to hold this, and what happens is it then opens it up in here, and we've then got the slide hammer that fits on, and we'll see if we can knock it out. Right, so let's tighten it. Right, that feels tight enough there. Let's see how that goes. So take it out. Right, we'll just get the slide hammer on it. Right, so just screw on the slide hammer to the top. This is the first time I've ever attempted this, so bear with me, anything could happen. Right, so I found out the best vice was actually the foot, because you could push down as you're doing it, so you can see it starting to come there. You see it starting to come here? There we go, one roller bearing removed. So yep, that's it. You can see how it grips there, just takes it out. Very straightforward. I would recommend this tool. It was, I think I paid £22 on the internet on eBay for it. And it's left it nice and clean there, so just the same again on the other side, get it cleaned up and then I can start rebuilding this up, but quite enjoyed that. How about you?
Yep.
So managed to get the other roller bearing out the other end, nowhere near as easy as the first time. We've had this through the wire wheel and the drill wire brush attachment, and we're just doing all the wee last bits here. Once we get this it'll be ready for coat, but to get inside here I'm going to use a degreaser and I'm going to get like some kind of bottle brush or something to get in, just to get it cleaned out all the old grease that was there. And the roller bearings that came out, the first one that came out, like new. The one that gave me some trouble, you can see it's quite worn, it's been tight, so that's the difference between the two. So we'll get this cleaned out, sprayed, and then we can start rebuilding the top arm. Right, I've got the new roller bearings to go in here, but before I do I'm just going to give this a clean out with, I've decided a toothbrush was the best thing to fit in there, don't tell the wife. And I've got some engine cleaner degreaser here, just to get rid of the grease that's already in there. You can use a solvent or something, but I've got that to hand, so I may as well use that. Tiny bit of grease all the way around. So we managed to get the bearing in just by lining it up with the grease, obviously as I showed you. Just gently tapping, just with a socket at the right size, and making sure that it's all goes in quite square. Done that on that side, just a case of turning it over and doing the same on the other side. And the same on the other side. Quite easy to go in. A lot easier than it was to come out anyway. So I'm just going to wipe the excess grease from here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to blank off this bit here and the other side, and I'm going to start with the coats of the etch primer, then paint, same as what I did before. I'm not going to show this because I've obviously shown it in a previous video and it's not very exciting viewing. So next time you see this, it'll be fully coated with its various coats, and then we can look at adding on the new parts. So after quite a few coats, as I've done on previous things, that's the top arm. I'm happy with the paint here. Again, I went with the gloss top coat because I just wanted to look nice. I know it's not going to be seen, it's going to get dirty, but it has got stone chip underneath it. What I done when I painted it was I blocked off the holes so that I'm not getting any paint inside here, and this was just by using paper towels. You can use anything really, newspaper, but that's what I done. Again, blocking in here in the grease nipple so it doesn't affect the thread and the ends. I don't want paint in there because they're going to get grease on them anyway. As you can see, you peel it back. I just used duct tape for this. And the same on the other end. So all that's left to do really is put in all the new features. I'm going to stand the camera at the side so it's held a bit still for this. But you can see I've got the old things here. Shaft that goes through, the old grease nipple and the old shock mount. And again I've got the pin here to go through. I've got all this to make up, but like I said before, take plenty of photos, and I've also kept this here just so you can see which way. For example, this here goes on this side. The thicker one, as you can see, it's thicker. So by keeping it there, I know exactly which orientation it goes. Also, the one on the groove goes on this side to obviously trap the grease in, but by keeping it here, you know you're getting it exactly the same way back as it was before. The only thing I have noticed missing from, this is the old shock mount here, on the part I got, it didn't have this spacer here. I'll need to source that for the shock absorber, but I can make up most of it in the meantime just now. So it's just a case of getting it all back together, which I'm going to do in a minute. I'm still working on the other top arm here. It's given me a lot more hassle than the one I've videoed, mainly because this is completely seized on and all the way through here, so I am trying to heat it, lubricate it to get it off. What I might have to do is cut this spacer to try and give it more room to move in here, but this is not turning at all and it's not knocking through. Also, the taper bearings are a bit worse on this side, so I am going to spend a bit of time with that and get some help with that and just get that done. But we're focusing on this one just now, so let's go ahead and get this built up. Right, hopefully the camera's a bit more stable for you there. I do need to get a tripod, it's on the list, the ever growing to-do list. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do is just screw the grease nipple in. These are pennies to buy, and it's worth getting a new one because I don't want the inside of this getting seized. I need to keep it greased. So it doesn't have to be too tight. So I'll get that nipped up once I can find the spanner. So no point me showing you on here when you know it's just a very quick tightening up of it. Next thing I'm going to do is fit the shock mount back on. I will get a new one of these spacers, but for the purpose of the video I'll stick the old one on just to show you me doing it. So I'm going to stick this back over. Make sure when you're doing it you know which side came off, so you know which way it goes. You don't want to fit that the wrong way around and then go and put it back on the vehicle and realise it's all the wrong way. You want to do it right the first time. Right, just in case of reassembling everything, I've got this way, so see the orientation here. You can get a decent camera angle for you. So, just by referring to pictures, or if you've got a good memory, it just goes on the same way you took the other one off. It's different for the, depending on what side it is, but what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to learn from the other side, and I'm going to put some grease on to stop it seizing onto the actual upper arm. Right, so once I've pushed the pin through, orientation it goes on, you've got the spacer here, washer, the one that's missing from the part, which is from the old part, spacer from the shock absorber. Like I say, I will get a clean one of these. And this, and the bolt. I'm only going to put this on finger tight because obviously the shock absorber does go onto that at a later date. And once the shock absorber's on here and held onto the other mounting point on the car, it stops this moving about and it keeps it tight. So that's that on there. You can see the only thing left now is the pin for the bottom. Also need to put a nylon cup in here, but I'll get that when I get the new knuckle joints. So just looking at the other pin, same orientation. I'm just going to put a smear of grease on this at the moment, but it will be greased up when the gun later on goes on. But I just want to get everything set up at the moment and just put a smear on. So first thing I'm going to do is put these like rubber protective mounts. These one each goes around here. I'm just going to get my little helper to do that for me because I do need two hands. They're a tight fit but not too bad, but like I say, you need two hands to put it on. Right, so that's them on both sides, here and here. The orientation again that it came off at, you can see that was that this way, so the way I'm doing it is just the same, putting them back on the way they came off. So the thick one's here, thin one's here, so start with the thin one, start with this side, then the spring washer, and finally the nut. Again, I'm putting these on to keep all the bits in place, but obviously it comes off when it has to go in the subframe. I'm not going to do that until I've got the other suspension set up, the cones and the high-lows, etc. So that's on that side. On the other side you can see goes in this orientation here. then this goes on. They're symmetrical, so it doesn't matter which way it goes. And the spring washer, and then the nut. I do need to get the new bolts that go in here that actually go into the subframe. They didn't come with the kit, but as we can see, if I can get the camera, that's the, well, at least one suspension arm refurbed. Saved a bit of money. It took a bit of time to get it all prepared and the stuff off, but I like to see how things work and how they come apart. I've never done this before, so it's my first time, but a lot of patience and ordering parts seem to work out. So as you can see, that's this top arm redone, albeit I need the nylock washer here, the nylock cover, sorry, and it's ready to go on. So I can now set this to one side and work on the other side. What I've decided to do with the subframe, sorry, with the suspension arm in the last one, I'm going to stick with rubber cones for this one at least. I think I might try springs at a later point on the other Mini there, but I'm going to go with rubber cones and high-lows on here, just to give me the option. So what I need to order now is some rubber cones, high-lows and some new knuckle joints, and then I can look at getting the upper arm in. In the meantime, when that's coming, me and my little helper can get on with the other side. But that's this bit complete. Hopefully this has been a help to someone. When I first looked at it, I was like, oh, look at all these different bits, but it's the only way you learn, by doing it. So I'm grateful for any comments, and I'm grateful for subscribers. I'm just enjoying doing this when I can, while I can. When my arm gets better, I do intend to get stuck into the car body, but it's taking longer than I thought, so I'm doing what I can with the help at the moment. And again, thanks for your support and thanks for watching, and hopefully get to see some more mini restorations out there. See, there's quite a lot of good ones at the moment. Total Car Reviews, he's doing his restoration. That's quite nice to watch. I like how every part of it's clean, even the hidden parts. I'm kind of like that myself, so that I know what it's all like. And it's good to see Matt Green back in action again. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon for the next video.